One winner, 42 losers. I eat losers for breakfast. While out of context, this sentence may seem horrifying, in context it's one of the first lines from the first Cars movie. Something that Lightning McQueen states as part of his pre-race mantra, saying that the race will have one winner and 42 losers. There's only one problem. The Piston Cup doesn't have 43 racers. It only has 36. Hello everybody, and welcome back to yet another video and to another episode of The Story Of. Today, I'm going to be telling the story of the 7 missing Piston Cup racers. Characters that some Cars fans believed existed, but in reality never did. Nowadays, we know the simple fact that there are 36 Piston Cup racers in total in the first Cars movie. And Lightning McQueen says that there are 43 cars, which causes a continuity error. The number 43 comes from NASCAR. In a typical NASCAR starting grid, there are only 43 racers. But back when the Cars movie had first come out, had developed a fan base, and had started releasing a bunch of diecasts, many began to check the movie to try to figure out who all of the Piston Cup racers were. We finally got a clear look at all of the Piston Cup racers for the first time in the now mythical Motor Speedway of the South set in 2008. But this pack only included 36 cars, a move that left some Cars fans scratching their head. Cars blog site Take 5 A Day released several articles speculating on this continuity error, how Lightning says there should be 43 cars, but the Motor Speedway of the South set has only 36. After scanning the movie as best they could, they realized there weren't more than 36 cars, and came to the conclusion that simply they only designed 36 Piston Cup cars and probably didn't expect anyone to count. As for an in-universe reason, fans speculated that maybe these 7 other racers were supposed to race in the Dinoco 400, but they simply couldn't make it. They were disqualified or kicked out or something else like that. This led several fans to try to figure out what the sponsors for these 7 missing cars could have been, by looking all throughout the Cars movie and the Piston Cup scenes and looking for logos that don't have racers attached. The comments of these old Take 5 A Day articles are full of fans trying to figure out what these 7 missing sponsors could be, with many looking to Chick Hicks for clues. Jim Corsi says, "I have my theory about the missing race cars. I took a magnifying glass to Chick Hicks and found the names Yum, Vroom, and 3 more that I can't quite make out what they say. Could these possibly be the Cars sponsors? Can anyone else take a look and see what you find? Need a higher powered microscope to do so." John in Missouri says, "I know this has been covered a few times, but I'd still like to see the mystical other 7 racers. Did I mean mythical? Musical? Missing." S. Frost says, "Yeah, customizers, get on it. We've scrutinized Chick Hicks' decals and come up with these 5. Yum, Sludgy, Texas Tea, Motor Oil, Vroom. We thought we spied the Sludgy hauler after the race before Lightning heads over to his sponsor's tent." Apple Fanatic, by the way, great profile picture. Every song on that album goes hard. Other than Teeth. Teeth is like D tier. Where was I? Oh, right. Alert! 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 I've just figured out one of the 7 missing racers in the MSOS set. My cousin had a shirt with a revolting logo and a logo saying Alza Facile. So, Met, do you know anything about this? I think they are stickers that Luigi has at his tire shop or something like that. Nothing to worry about. So, as you can see, any sponsor that wasn't on a Piston Cup racer was a potential candidate for one of these mythical 7 missing racers. Or do I mean mystical, or musical, or missing? I don't quite remember. And then there was Mega Heat 2008, who decided to take matters into his own hands, and seems to have found the 7 missing sponsors. Mystery solved of the 7 missing racers. Corrosion Seal. I thought it was Lightning from the beginning. In the movie trailer, the 1 car logo, JLP, John Lasseter Productions, Supercharged Animation. Now, if I can only get him to either email or call or deliver the envelope, I'll have the 6 remaining unnamed cars, but oh, forgot the other is Jumbo Pretzels, and not mistaking Lincoln City, orange car and rear. That's it. I'm calling Pixar. Oh, I'm losing it here. Need a clearer image. Still looking. Okay, Take 5 family. It's time. Secret is out. Hit YouTube, log on to Disney Cars, Pixar, use the pause button at race sequence. Can't make out orange and yellow racers, but the red car is one of the missing 7. Corrosion sealant. Check it out. Ah ha ha ha! The yellow car in rear is Jumbo Pretzels. You can see the pretzel logo on hood. Woohoo! 5 to go, people. Now this is awesome. I'm excited. They're here all along, 3 years after. We need them. Can you help out? You have connections, or is this the ultimate surprise in the car's lineup? The 7 missing Piston Cup racers. 1. Jumbo Pretzels. 2. Corrosion Sealant. Racing numbers unknown. Oh, I'm going back. 4 more. This is great. Corrosion Seal, not sealant. Blue car second. Cannot make out. Something runner. Orange car in rear. Something city. Go, Mega! Where is this again? Jeff! I'm running out with family right now. It's YouTube. Click on the Disney Cars Pixar clip from 2005 to 6 movie intro. 1:43, time of clip. Freeze using pause button. Cannot make out some cars, but I always thought from The Incredibles that the red car was McQueen. I was so wrong. This is good. Rear car to the right says Papa. Pirate Dad says, this is an old preview of the movie Cars, placed as an advertisement before The Incredibles. I'm not sure it counts, since they may have changed all cars from the time of the ad being made to the time of the movie being made. However, let's assume it is the missing racers. I love that we would know who they are. Nice job, Joe. So, in the most tragic twist of all time, Mega Heat 2008 did all of that for nothing, as the entire time they were looking at the Cars teaser trailer, which used completely different animation from the final movie. As the next few years went on, Take 5-A continued to give updates to this strange situation. In early 2009, a Cars magazine included an image of an overhead shot of the entire Piston Cup Stadium, allowing fans to count that there were only 36 haulers and only 36 parking spots for said haulers, meaning that if there were 7 other racers who just had sponsors but weren't at the race, there would be no place for them to park. In 2010, Take 5-A released an addendum to their original article posing a new theory, comparing these 7 missing racers to the concept of start and park cars in NASCAR, which is a term referring to a car that a sponsor will buy just to have it race a few laps before pulling it out of the race. This offered an additional theory for why there were 43 cars mentioned but only 36 in the race. However, much like with everything else here, there is no evidence that we had start and park cars at the Dinoco 400. So what do I think about this? Well, I simply believe it's just a continuity error. Lightning mentions there are 43 cars as a reference to NASCAR, but they only included 36 in the movie. It's as simple as that. This was further proven by Cars 3, when the same continuity error was repeated. In fact, in the Cars 3 Piston Cup, there are only 35 racers, but Lightning still says 1 winner, 42 losers. At this point, it's just been decided that the amount of Piston Cup cars are around 35 or 36. But that still doesn't mean we can't speculate. After all, like so many people said in those old comments, Chick Hicks is full of logos for companies that don't have their own racers. We know that Vroom was a prototype name for Revengo, so maybe some of these other sponsors, like for example Sludgy, were supposed to appear in the movie at one point, but were either replaced by other sponsors or designed but scrapped before the movie came out. In addition to this, one shot of the first Cars movie includes the number 65 on the scoring pylon, but there is no Piston Cup racer numbered 65. And while several pieces of promo art do just throw random numbers on the scoring pylons, this is interesting because this made it into the final cut. Once again, I think this is probably just an error, but with no confirmation, maybe at one point there was a racer meant to have this number, but it was changed at one point. But that's all just speculation. In fact, everything here today has been just speculation because we still don't have a definitive answer on if there were supposed to be 7 other racers in the Piston Cup at one point. It's an interesting story that I don't really see anyone talk about today, and it's something I really wanted to talk about in this video because it allowed me to go back and highlight the early days of the Cars community. back when something that we all know as common knowledge now, there's a continuity error regarding how many Piston Cup Cars Lightning lists versus how many there are in the movie, was something that we sort of had unconfirmed. Something that left people speculating and wondering if there were 7 missing racers out there. Anyway guys, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye now. Whatever happened to Take 5 member Mega Heat 2008? Good question. He sold everything off and got out of it. Aw. Goodbye, Mega Heat 2008. We'll miss you.